Hello, everyone, and welcome to Barely Necessities LaughingPlace.com's live discussion of Disney merchandise. I'm the site's co founder, Rebecca Mosley, and our site manager, Rebecca Burbank, is here. I am just back from vacation, having been to Walt Disney World, a Disney cruise, and Disneyland Resort. Oh, it's
That
nice
sounds
to
like
be
the
home.
dream vacation.
It was a lot of fun. I had a really, really great time traveling around. Disney cruises continue to be my favorite type of Disney vacation currently. But I'm excited to talk about some Disney merchandise, and happily, some of these articles are actually from my pictures because I, I was at the resort this time around.
That's always exciting. You're like, I saw that in person. I got to take that photo.
Exactly. So we're going to start off with some merchandise that we saw at Disneyland.
Yeah, this is the 70th anniversary items, and I think they just dropped yesterday, right?
Yeah, they've just popped up on shelves. As I entered Main Street, stopped by the Disney Showcase right there at the top of the street. Oh, Becca, anytime I saw this merch, whether it was here at the Showcase or Bing Bong Sweet Shop out at California Adventure or in the Emporium, the color scheme just instantly caught my eye.
No, it's really good. Like I'm impressed. I'm not sure that I like all of the graphic styles, if you will,
Uh-huh.
but I am a big fan of the colors.
Okay, I'll tell you what shocked me. And that is, okay, here is the long sleeved I can't recall if this is a Spirit jersey in the brand form of the word or
Okay.
not, but so here's the long sleeved. It's $80, but the t-shirt. Okay, so this is a basic t-shirt. It's got that nice D tag on the
Mhm.
base. It's got a nice, you can see kind of like a ribbon on the collar
Oh
there, on the
yeah.
collar scheme, and it says celebrate happy 70th anniversary. There's a couple of little sparkly, like gemstony elements around that D. I mean, they're actually dimensional like gems.
Okay.
But this is a 49.99 t-shirt,
No, no. That's a
right?
lot. That's a lot
Yeah.
for a t-shirt.
I was floored. But I mean, I really like it, and maybe I just don't buy enough t-shirts kind of out and about to be prepped. But what I ended up doing, and I joked around with my husband because for Magic key holders, they had a different t-shirt, and it was this. It was a nice bright blue. It's got Mickey. It's got that Disneyland 70th logo on
Yes.
it. The Magic Key logo is just kind of subtle on the sleeve
Yes.
there. Now it doesn't know what to focus in on. Um, this was exactly, Geo. This was with my discount, 34.99. See, here's the price, and then with the tax, the discount, and the tip, 34.99 is what I paid for this. And this is a nice heavyweight T-shirt, by the way. This is, and it's also got that same ribbon in like
Yeah.
interior with the rainbow logo and stuff. So yeah, but I don't know. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't I don't know either. I do like that. That's a really good shirt for Magic Key. But yeah, I know. I
if
mean,
I
it's the
if I
70th. So.
if I did say tip, Kyle, I apologize. It was tax and discount. I didn't
Okay.
mean tip.
Well, I mean, now almost not almost everywhere, but a lot of places that tip button is kind of built in. So, which can be good at times.
If you want a corksicle, you're looking at a very deep tone on that background with those brighter colors. For the one side has that D, the other side has the Mickey. The top is as a nice iridescent blue look. So yeah, the like I say, I grabbed the special design for the Magic key holder. I found it over at the Disneyana shop. right there at the top of Main Street. I think if this bag with the logo, the lug, didn't have those ears, I would have picked it up.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it either. Like, I like it and I don't. It every time I look at it, I feel something different. I'm like, "Ooh, that's so cute." And then I'm like, I don't know if I needed the Mickey ears."
Yeah, that I mean, I was just gifted a lug bag. A friend gave me a lug, and it was not a type of bag I would have purchased for myself, but I am in love with it. I've been carrying it everywhere, and I feel like I would have grabbed that 70th one because the colors are so pretty.
Yeah.
If not for those ears kind of sticking out of it, for whatever reason, that just didn't grab me. But they even have some pins. They've for the celebration as well that appeared. So if you are looking for pins with the Disneyland 70th, those are beginning to hit shelves. Yeah, and this is how it looked at the Elias and Company. I mean, you walk in and just
So
boom.
cool.
Yeah, no, it catches so eye catching. Next up, we're going to be talking about the Snow White limited edition items. Have you seen the film, Becca?
I have not. Was it good?
Okay, I I didn't hate it.
Okay.
I
I've
didn't. I didn't. I can't say I loved it. But I didn't hate it. Certain elements of who Snow White is were held true,
Okay.
and so I appreciated that. I miss kind of a little bit of the softness that Snow White had.
Okay.
A little, I don't know what other word to use other than that. And this Snow White is really intense, and and for me it'll I don't you watched the Once Upon a Time.
Yes.
I thought Jennifer Goodwin's Snow White was a beautiful balance
Mhm.
between that kind of softer, so kind, so caring Snow White versus kind of a princess who's gonna, who's a leader and needs to have kind of a little bit of that too.
Okay,
So
yeah.
this one leaned a little bit more leader intensity
Okay.
than I don't know. I like my Snow White to be a little softer. But the doll has hit shelves. Let me add it to the stage so y'all can see it. It looks like Rachel.
Yeah. I think this is a really, really good interpretation of the live action Snow White,
Mhm.
and I really like the dress, which I think is slightly different from what she wears in the movie. Like, does she have the blue, like, covering over her yellow skirt?
Oh, I think there may be a portion where she has some sort of secondary dynamic to it. Here, in
Okay.
fact, while you chat about the doll a little bit, let me see if I can easily look at my phone because her dress
Okay.
was on display
Oh, yeah.
in the Carthay Circle at
Oh,
um, at Disneyland, and so I actually popped in to take a peek. So I'm trying to remember now. You've got me thinking because
no,
I
that's
feel. Go ahead.
well, I've seen a couple of different dolls, more of the play variety, less of the collectors. This is the collector type doll, and I've seen some differences between her dress. But yeah, this is available now at Disney Store. She's 149.99. Limited edition. Edition size is 3,900 or 3,900. This one comes with the stand, of course, and she comes with her little basket of apples there. I really like this dress. Like, I've never been a fan of Snow White's dress, just personally. I've never really liked the dress. And this, I think, is probably my favorite, like, interpretation of it. So, I
Yeah,
know it's on a doll, but, like, the sleeves, I'm like, "I
yeah.
wanna wear those sleeves," and I like the collar, the, like, raised collar as well. I think that it just I don't know, it's very, very lovely.
I was gonna
So
say I feel like that's an aspect of this dress that's different. You're referring to the kind of that overcoat aspect
mhm,
there in the lower portion. I also think that the sleeves here are more full at the wrist, And
Okay,
I like
yes.
that as well. I really do appreciate the design of this particular gown on Snow White.
Yeah. And
Embroidery.
she has red shoes, so that's super fun as well, and the ribbon in her hair. But, yeah, um, and yeah, if you look at the description on the website, she does have, I don't know that I have a good photo in there, but, she does have there's the embroidered bodice with the corset lacing, and then she also has a silver heart locket with a chain that she's wearing. So there's a couple little accessories on there on her
And
as well.
that locket is a story piece to the film. So
Okay.
makes sense that they've included it within the design of the doll. If you are in the parks, you can find it in the parks. Here she is at Once Upon on off the page at in Hollywood picture. What's this area called now? Do they still see? I'm so locked into old school. I'm a Hollywood Pictures backlot, but I don't know that it's called that anymore. Maybe it still is. I was doing that a lot this weekend. When I was there, I was telling the team about things I would stumble on. I mean, okay, I found it over here, and this is what I know the place to be. What's it called now? And see, Hollywoodland.
Okay.
So I'm still locked in old school nomenclature.
No, it's so hard. I mean, like, how long was Hollywood Studios MGM? Like, I
Right?
still sometimes think of it as MGM, even though I have known and properly typed the term thousands of times.
By the way, we'll make sure to drop in the links below. I'll send it over to Becca, the link for that those Carthay Circle costumes, because being able to walk into the park and see the evil queen's gown and Snow White's dress, for one thing, you really do get a sense of the actor size. I mean, they're so Rachel Zegler must be so petite. This dress
Okay.
is so tiny. It was really striking. But the colors on the Evil Queen's gown are really beautiful, even in person. Sometimes, you wonder how much of it is magic versus the reality. But no, the costuming here was great. Evil Queen among my favorite in the movie. But that's not the only items that are out there in the world of Snow White collectibles. There's a lot of other things that we've shared.
Yes, yeah, somebody did a roundup. Looks like Maxine did a roundup for us of some of the new items, and one of the things is this lovely gown from Disney Fairy Tale Weddings, which is inspired by Snow White. So that's something that fans will be able to eventually purchase.
I love the idea of getting married in the Germany pavilion. Check it
Right?
out. That is
I
so
mean, that is, yeah. And since they don't open until what is it still
true.
11 o'clock?
Yeah, that's true. You could. This seems to be an evening, but yeah, you definitely could pop in there
I did
during
get to
early morning
attend a wedding at the in the Japan pavilion, and that was before the park opened, so we got to go behind or backstage and walk into the park for where the wedding was set up, and it was quite lovely. But
But
yes, yeah, I thought these were fun. I like the almost iridescent tone there to the bottom of the clogs. They're very, to me, very 2000s. Like this would have been something that I would have wanted to wear. Yeah, eighth, ninth grade. Like
yeah, yeah.
I would have thought these were awesome.
Ooh, the Kendra Scott collection. These are actually also available in the parks. I stumbled on them in the little shop there in Fantasyland. That what used to have what used to be the witch, the witch's cauldron kind of dynamic. It was really spooky, but now it's like fairy tale magic. I think it's named after Merlin now. But this piece is actually not petite. It is an impressive size. The necklace with the two bluebirds and the heart, and then there's also some dangling earrings that match it, or a apple pendant. So you can find those at the resort if you want to see them up close. One of the things we can't do as much now that we don't have so many now that we don't have Disney stores in our own backyard. If you happen to be going to the park soon, you can see some of these items up close. This dress featuring a pattern with the Evil Queen and Snow White also can be found at Disney parks. So if you are a Snow White fan on your way to the park soon, you can hold off and see them in person before you make your purchase.
Yes.
Oh, so yeah, so there we go. Next up, we got some more princess, but now we're going under the sea.
Yeah, we were at Walt Disney World, we meaning the team, and got some photos of the Cake-worthy Little Mermaid collection. This is available now, and very 90s, very much like or I guess 89, right? 89, 90.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, it's Ariel and Flounder and Sebastian or Ariel and Flounder at least, as we best know them.
You're right.
So,
You're right.
yeah.
Don't second guess yourself. You're right. And in this case, the cake-worthy items, this jacket is sold out in their online shop. So if you are a fan of The Little Mermaid, or you have a friend going to Disney World, the Disney parks, and you missed out online at the cake-worthy shop, yeah, we found it on shelves down there in Florida. But yeah, so adorable. Oh, life is the bubbles.
Yes, of course it is. Yeah, these are their signature flannel shirts that have usually a nice saying, sometimes an image on the back, and then there's usually like a name on the name or signature on the collar, and so we have that as well. Yeah, Ariel's signature.
I feel like the recent live action Ariel would have been a bazillion times more popular if Flounder had just been adorable.
Yeah. I know.
I miss them being adorable. I mean, because they stuck with kind of cartoony, dwarfs with the,
right, with
Snow White. And yet, for some reason, with Mermaid, you had to have a fish that was like truly fish-like, and I think it needed to be more cuddly. I like how Gio's concerned about the safety of your clogs. So
yes,
he is thinking those have a better chance of not getting stuck in escalators. I don't know. I'm too afraid. Escalators. So life is the bubble seems to be the catchphrase that Cake-worthy is leaning into with their collection of items. Oh, some more purple like her shells.
Yeah, I like this. I mean, I don't have anything to wear it with, but I do like the color. And I like that it's just very like you don't have any other color than there's not too much going on there, if that makes sense.
I understand. Yeah, totally. To go with the kind of the similar on tone, as opposed to bright red along with it. It's a little bit less, a little more understated. Yes, Kyle, I do have a history of shutting down escalators. I have a way of making that happen. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Hey, okay, you're supposed to go away when I hit that.
Right.
Okay. Oh, let's see. Next up, we have some Toy Story merchandise to share.
Yeah, so this film is also celebrating its 30th anniversary in 2025, and ColourPop is joining in the fun with a collection. I think this is the first time that they've done Toy Story. Okay. And yeah, I don't, maybe I have that wrong, but anyway.
Well, that means that we have to take a look and see what they've decided to name their colors, because ColourPop doesn't just go with things like scarlet or tan or blue. Oh no, we have Pull String, Howdy Partner, Bo Peep Blue, Falling with Style.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite among the Toy Story color names here, Becca?
I mean, I like the blue of the Star Command, and I like the name Star Command, so probably that one. What about you?
I'm leaning towards the Rex Flex.
Yes.
That's a good one. I like that. I like that name. As far as actual colors, the Bo Peep blue is pretty.
It's, mm-hmm.
I'm a little confused, but oh, I see. It's Go Ham. Okay, I thought it said Coham, and I was like, I don't really get that one.
Oh,
But
what is
oh,
Cohen?
that one's cool. And since '95 is, I think, the most disappointing among the names here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, no, yeah,
And it's just kind of the most like basic color, which you
right.
need those because you can build like that's your
True,
base and then you build around it. But yeah, it's just
true.
kind of like, hi, I'm here.
But we have some lip colors as well. And what other items do you recall being part of this makeup collection from ColourPop?
Well, you've got it on the screen right there. This sour candy lip mask, which sounds very 90s. Sour candy.
And I like the swirl. That's
Yeah.
also
Yes,
very
I'm
cool.
sure that I had like toys with that swirl color, Barbies with that dress, the dress with a swirl like that. But
Are you a
yeah.
sour candy fan? I keep hearing that that's like the developing sweet tooth craze in society.
I mean, I haven't had sour candy in a long time. I don't dislike it. It's not my first choice, but it's not something that I'm like avoid at all costs or anything.
It
What about
falls into that category of me for which came first, because I know that there's been like some sort of challenge with cocoa production. And so
okay.
chocolate prices, I guess, are increasing. And around this time, I keep seeing all these articles telling me that gummies and sour candy dynamics, like those Sour Patch Kids and that kind of thing, are what's really becoming popular. And I'm like, is that true? Or is the cocoa people just want me to realize that they're going to be transitioning because of operation? I'm like, I don't know which came first.
They're going to make less chocolate and we're just going
Right?
to focus on other.
Come on.
Well, it's funny because as you're talking about this, I'm thinking sour candy and like my like the sides of my mouth are actually like starting to, get that pucker. But I do like a good gummy. So like the Sour Patch Kids would probably be my go-to sour candy because there's also that sweet flavor afterwards, or you get the sweetness. But yeah, I like fruit snacks. I like Sour Patch Kids.
Geo pointing out, yes, Cadbury eggs, yes, exactly. So Cadbury eggs will no longer be a good substitute for your breakfast eggs because apparently cocoa is not as easy to come by, so therefore expect a little bump. We've got some volumizing mascara with a little bit of Rex reflection here from ColourPop, along with some ultra glossy lip colors featuring a couple of our favorite gals from the film, along with the popular pals Woody and Buzz. So yeah, lots of variety coming from the team over there at ColourPop, celebrating the 30th, yes, 30 anniversary of Toy Story. So
Yeah, indeed, indeed. And these items are available at ColourPop or through ColourPop directly, and some are at Ulta Beauty as well. And these are like that entire collection is like $99. So if you wanted to get all the things, it's $99, which I think is a pretty decent price for having a fun Toy Story collection. And their cosmetics, we've used them a little bit. I obviously never have a full face, but I like the how long everything lasts. I like how easy it is to apply, and I've never had any issues with the ColourPop items. So.
Yeah, no, their quality. My friends speak well of them to me. Continuing back over popping back over to Walt Disney World. We're going to talk about some resort line merchandise. Saratoga Springs has a few new items over there. I love Saratoga Springs. It's one of my favorite resorts. This jacket is really adorable to me. It's like kind of jockey-ish.
Yeah.
With the way that they've chosen to decorate it.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're calling it a zip-up jumper, right? Like I still don't know why jumper. But I know that is a term that is used sometimes for sweaters or jackets, and yeah.
Yes. Isn't that Aussie? I mean, that's where I know like a warmer outer garment as a jumper. I feel like
Okay.
that's something I've heard from my friends from Australia.
I think you're right.
Here, for me, a jumper is like a dress that has an overall
Yes.
bodice.
Yes.
That's a jumper.
Yep.
But when I was watching, I got sucked into that whole it was this influencer who was like all health minded influencer, and then it turned out she was like not, she hadn't had cancer and all these types of things, and she had done an interview down in Australia for their 60 minutes, and they kept talking about her pink jumper, and then they showed her, and it was, to me, like a turtleneck sweater.
Right. So yeah.
But they kept calling it, thank you, Belle Gibson. And she was wearing a pink jumper, but no, to me it was a pink sweater. So, but let's see. This is Geo saying it looks like a equestrian outfit. Where's the, okay, like, is that the Star Wars character that they ride over on that planet that everybody gambles? See, that's my depth of Star Wars knowledge. Right? I like this jacket. I'm sad I didn't see this jacket. I might have brought this jacket home.
Well, maybe it'll be there. Maybe it's a reason to go back.
I do really like that.
Of course, we
have polos, as well, some quarter zip hoodies.
Yes, I love a good quarter zip.
My husband too, with the resort logo. So you have that horse racing aspect of the Saratoga Springs history brought into the logo, and this resort line that you can find over at Saratoga Springs. I wish they made these more easily accessible, not just you have to find your way over to the resort.
Right, I know.
Okay, I'm going to get real personal. Do you want to hear one of my favorite Saratoga Springs resort stories?
Yes.
Okay, this is way too much hype for what this story is, but we were giving, we when we were local to Orlando, we'd had dinner with some of our friends who are DVC, and they were staying at Saratoga Springs. And we were giving them a ride from dinner back to the resort because they had gone, by Disney transportation to wherever we met and ate. And so we were giving them a ride back to the resort. We drive up to the resort, and security is like, how may I help you? Oh, we're dropping off our friends who are staying here. What are you doing? We gave our friends a ride from dinner. We're dropping them off. Huh? What? Seriously, we went back and forth like this for a little bit. Finally, do you want to see their key? Finally, they let us, but it was like, wait, why is this confusing?
You've never heard of a drop off?
They're staying here. I think that's literally where it got to. Jimmy, you're unfamiliar with a drop off? I still, to this day, I'm like, I do not know what the security officer thought he was hearing or what. It's just the most bizarre conversation. So now every time I see Saratoga Springs,
you think of
I am taken back to that moment in time where I was like, I'm not sure what conversation you're having, but okay, here we go.
My goodness.
Back to merchandise. We have a celebration of a natural phenomenon that happens over there at the Springs.
Yes, we've got a purple Martin's plush, purple Martin plush, which I think is like quite adorable. Yeah, so this is so this plush is not at Epcot, right? It's at Saratoga Springs. But the purple Martins, I guess when I think about them, they live at Epcot, right? That's where they have like the nests, or is it all over the? I should know.
You'll also find them at Saratoga Springs, but I am sure you are most familiar with them from Epcot.
Yes.
But yes, you can also find them at the Springs. They migrate to and from Walt Disney World. They, as the little sign here says, they fly over 3,000 miles.
Yes.
From the rainforests. And they raise their families right there in Walt Disney World. I was always taught growing up that they're very helpful as far as pest control. So we were invited where I lived to create habitats that were quite comfortable for the Purple Martin, and Disney World has done the same. At the resort, they actually have programming there in the mornings where you can go and you can learn more about the Purple Martin from a conservation expert. But this plush is sold, and it helps to support efforts with the education and everything about the Purple Martin. So there you go.
Yeah, no, I just thought that was so cool. This is something I hadn't seen, but I mean, I think it's like a completely new, right? Like, have they done? I don't think they've done the Purple Martin plush before, so I'm excited to see that.
This aspect was new to me as well. But they do, like I say, have these presentations that they are making, kind of, they're publicizing more, letting people know more, because frankly, people are more interested in learning more about conservationist efforts. And so Disney is also making sure that you are aware of them and can participate in them around the resort. Let's see, my next story is not, my computer is not letting me click on my next dynamic. So let me do this and showcase it this way. Old school. Oh, it's still not there. Huh, now it is.
Something's coming. Yeah, the return of Lulu to a Disney store over the winter, or back in November. They launched this new collection, and it's back in stock, or it's pre-order mostly. But yeah, these styles were super popular, not only on the Lulu website but also at Disney Store, and so now the Disney Store website has them back to order again. We've got photos in person.
I was gonna say, and if you're super impatient and need them now and have a trip to Disneyland, at least I know for sure, because I just saw them there. They actually had quite a full display of this line they're on Main Street. So if you are a big Lulu fan and a Disney fan and wanted these items, they are still available in parks. And like Becca pointed out, quite a few are now available for pre-order over there at DisneyStore.com. I actually saw a guy wearing one of these on the airplane too. So I was like, oh,
really?
Yeah.
We saw somebody. I mean, this was back in November, when shortly after the collection launched, and we were out getting dinner, and Kyle was going in to get the food, and the car next to us, I was like, oh, you're wearing a new shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I know that's a brand new shirt.
Yep. Over at the Gap, you can enjoy some Muppets inspired apparel. This hipper than hip.
I mean, I feel like Gap has done this with other, of course I can't think of anything right now, but Gap has done this before, where they highlight, celebrities of sorts, and so now it's the Muppets who are taking the spotlight.
There's something disturbing about seeing Kermit in a t-shirt and jeans, but I'll get over it. Wow, Miss Piggy, look at those curls.
I know.
I gotta zoom in on this because I love those curls. Look at those curls.
Yeah, it's a good photo. She's like, I like that she's casual, but she's also still has her pearls and her gloves. She's like, I'm not gonna relax that much. I'm still gonna.
Oh man, I wanted hair like that in the 70s. So bad. I wanted like the big. My hair was about that. My hair was very blonde in the 70s. It darkened as I got older, but I wanted the feathered curls and whatnot. Oh, here we've got Gonzo in a t-shirt. And, Animal. So quite a variety of characters coming to you from the Muppets. Is that like their Fab Five? Kermit, Piggy, Fozzie, Gonzo, and Animal.
I mean, that's a really good question. But yeah, that's what you think of when somebody says the Muppets, right? I mean, I'm sure everybody has their favorite Muppet that they think of that may or may not be featured here. But just like when you're like, oh, it's Disney characters, probably the first thing that comes to mind is the Fab Five. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe for the Muppets, I like that.
Yeah. So Kermit, Piggy, Fozzie, Gonzo, and Animal.
An
That's
animal.
that's the Muppet Five. Um, from the world of Star Wars, we have travel accessories from the team at Heroes and Villains. A nice variety of duffels.
Yeah, some duffels, some dop kits, and then some like messenger bags as well. I'm tempted to get these, and I'm like, you don't have any travel coming up, and you already have so many bags that you love that you specifically purchased for the purpose of travel. But like, I really like the colors and like all the multifunction portions of that bag that we were just looking at. But yeah, there's a dop kit on the screen right now. So they're themed to Rebel, Jedi, and Imperials as well. So yeah, I don't know. It's pretty
I'm
cool.
with you.
They've got the insignia, and then there's also Arabesh with very like basic and simple things like use the force or light side, dark side. I was trying to spell these out the other day without looking at the without looking at the cheat sheet online, and I think I did okay. But now, of course, I can't remember what anything says.
Well, I'm guessing this one over here says Jedi.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that is Jedi. And then let's
So,
see.
yeah, we can get that one right away.
For the what is it? Rebellion, I think, for the rebellion. And
Oh, look at
yeah.
you learning your Arabic. So proud.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, our own Mike Celestino has a hoarse voice today. I saw because he is recovering from having hosted trivia night over at
Oh
the
yeah.
what Scum and
Scum and
Villainy.
Villainy.
That the name of it over there in the LA area. So congratulations, Mike. I saw rave reviews on his Instagram. So excited for him. Let's see. Okay, so while I was I know this isn't on the list, Becca,
Oh,
but
you're
while
fine.
I was at Disneyland, I stumbled on this nice little collection of jewelry. It's not an expensive line. You're looking at prices just under that $30 mark. I'm hesitant to kind of promise you what they are because Disney does that color coded pricing.
Oh
So
yeah.
like right now, they're underneath that $30 mark, but they're little sets of items that focus on kind of Disney icons. You've got the castle, some Winnie the Pooh set. I was really enjoyed. They have a number of necklaces with key elements that showcase various aspects of Disney, whether it's that Disneyland D, mermaid shell. They also have bracelets that have the I only saw at this shop, which is right there on Main Street, Main Street USA and Fantasyland. But
Oh.
it got me wondering if maybe other ones might pop up. But it's just a simple little like gold bar with the land name and then the Mickey head silhouette
Oh, that is cute.
there. So just a nice little collection. There's some lockets, storybook lockets. And then they had some of these necklaces where there's like a pendant and a bunch of little charms hang off of it.
Oh,
And they had
cute.
various themes. Like one seemed to be Fantasyland themed. So you had like a pirate ship and some other more storybook elements to it. So we have an article connected with that on the site. So I'll be sure to send the link over to Becca so it can make it into the show notes. And then lastly, in the world of merchandise from me, before we get to Becca's shopping list, I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience testing out a new automated checkout. Now, this was a testing, so it's not a final. It wasn't a final product, or it's not. It doesn't. I don't know that it's a. I do not know whether or not this is a permanent dynamic. Like when you go, would you see this as well? Because you can see right here, see how these are like very temporary, set directly in front of the usual checkout. So clearly it was testing. As I was over at the California Adventure Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta, And as I approached the kiosk, they asked, what was my method of payment? And I said I was going to be using a card. And they said, oh, would you like to participate in this test we've got going on? And I'm like, okay, cool. So what would happen is you set your tray down on this platform right here where the image is, right? And after a moment, an itemized list of everything on your tray would appear in that large view screen right there. Really easy to read. I mean, quite visible. And then your total, and you could pay right there. So like it's kind of like when you're at the airport and they have those self-use kiosks where you grab your milk and grab your candy bar and set it down and then just ring it up. So yeah, and there's a cast member attendant, paying attention, kind of hovering nearby. So if you have any questions, and in my case, applying my annual pass holder discount. So it's not completely autonomous. But yeah, no, it was unfortunately for me, a lot of other people very successful. Unfortunately for me, I had 2 kids meals and an adult dynamic, and it had trouble selecting that I had a kids meal. And so like it got one of the kids meals, but for whatever reason, the pieces of the puzzle didn't combine for it to realize I had 2. So they ended up having to send me through the traditional line after the cast member tried to, like move items on the tray to see if that helped better. But everybody around me that I saw use it, quite smooth. I went back later and with some breadsticks, piece of cake. So, it was fun because it was clearly in a test and trial period, and they were very engaging and very grateful, like, hey, thanks for giving it a try. Sorry for the complication, it was fun. I love it being at the parks when something new is going on and you get to try out new things. I remember when Fast Pass was new and ha ha ha, very funny. So yeah, so that's what's going on. Let's see. Gio saying he used it a bunch of times when he was over at All Star Sports. One mess up, really easy. So there you go. So maybe when you're at a Disney park in the future, you'll be able to give this new method a try. Like I say, I liked it. Anything that can make the process a little bit easier when it comes to getting your food, because that usually can be, you've got 85 people, especially if you have a lot of people in your party and kids, you've got all these things, and anything that can make that a smoother process, much appreciated. With that, I will tease that next week I'll be sharing some of the images I took aboard the cruise line of merchandise I saw there. Some of the things I stumbled on at Epcot. I really like what they're doing as far as the merchandise lines within the pavilion. So I'm eager to share that with all of you. But for now, Becca, what do we have on the shopping list?
Yeah, well, the 25th anniversary of pin trading is happening now, and there are some new celebratory pins available at Disney Store, and also a tote bag, a special pin tote bag that you can get. And then also at Disney Store, there is a Disney Princess tea set that is for play, and it has sound effects, and it has several different princesses in various colors. And so if you have a little princess in your life who wants to have tea parties, this might be the gift for them. A Goofy movie is celebrating its 30th anniversary, and there is new merch, including some exclusive Roosevelt's colorways at Disney Store. There's also a plush, and there is a Max as Powerline Loungefly that's available for pre-order. And then I think on our sidebar on our site, you can see the tie-dyed Spirit jersey celebrating the film. So some fun stuff there. Winnie the Pooh and his friends are featured on some exclusive sweatshirts for Disney Store, or I should say Disney Store exclusive sweatshirts. These are very simplistic designs and just bright colors. It's really fun and perfect for spring. And then because of March Madness, Disney Store is doing their Disney Store Classic Collection. And so you can vote on your favorite of 16 Disney films. They're bringing it down in brackets, but you can vote for your favorite of the films, and all 16 films have a t-shirt So that's something that you can
It's
collect.
it's so cool. You can, that right now there's Robin Hood T-shirt,
Hmm.
Oliver and Company, Emperor's New Groove, Atlantis. I mean, I was looking through them this
Zootopia,
morning.
Tangled, yeah.
Yeah, so it was nice to see kind of lesser represented
Yeah, I mean, I guess
princesses
Tangled
too.
is not a lesser represented, but
But it was
yes,
Pascal on the front of
yes,
it, not Rapunzel. So it's kind
right.
of cool.
A lot of the sidekicks, yeah, they have Moana, so Hey Hey is there, and then
Oh,
Big Hero
okay.
6 with Baymax, and but yeah, like you're saying, Atlantis and some of these other films that like Robin Hood or Oliver and Company, films that we don't hear about as much. So it's a pretty good mix of films. And I think they're going to be introducing some hoodies as well because I saw two hoodies on Disney Store with the same patterns. It's just a new item.
Nice.
And then also Disney Store, lots of Disney Store today. Moana 2, there are some gifts for Disney Plus subscribers who are making purchases at Disney Store. I think there's a pin and then there's the Moana ears. So if you're spending a certain amount of money or hitting a certain shopping point or certain point there while you're shopping, then you might be able to scoop up some of these special gifts. And then the character totes we've talked about several times. Well, Pluto and Goofy have arrived, so you now have the Sensational Six are all available in these oversized character totes. And then over at Disney Springs, they are celebrating women-owned businesses, including Eat and what is the marshmallow one? I can't think of it right now. Forget the name of the Wonder Maid, maybe Wonder Maid marshmallows.
I think it's that. I think that's right.
And then there is another one as well. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on this, but yeah, there's some women-owned businesses that are taking up residence at Disney Store or not Disney Store, Disney Springs, and so we are celebrating them. And then Hasbro introduced a whole bunch of new action figures today across their Black Series and the Vintage Collection. So these are from Ahsoka, from Clone Wars. I think the Mandalorian, and so just a variety of really cool action figures and Empire Strikes Back as well. So some bounty hunters and some like these are not your normal, or I shouldn't say normal, but these aren't like the main characters. These are more of the supporting characters that we love that don't always get that same love in terms of merchandise. So these are some fun collectibles. I promise I'm wrapping it up here with Return of the Jedi. Is it Yuzum or Yuzum creature? Mike put together an article. This is a special Regal robot limited release. Very detailed, very cool. It's going to set you back quite a bit, but these are awesome collector pieces that are a collector piece that you will want to have if you're a diehard fan of Return of the Jedi.
As a reminder, later tonight, we will have Disney Trivia Live right here on this very YouTube channel, as Gio points out, inspired by travel, 7:30 Pacific time, Disney Trivia Live. If you're looking for more Disney news and information, check out laughingplace.com. Throughout today, we've been discussing the fact that the Avengers Assemble rooftop stunt show is going away. We've talked about the closure of the Disney Junior Live show over at California Adventure. A new brunch is coming to the Westin over there at the California resort area, and over at Magic Kingdom, we've showcased some of the refurbishments going on, some of the additions that have come to that resort recently, some new art kiosks at the Polynesian, a DVC dynamic over at the Canada Pavilion. So check out Laughing Place for the latest Disney news and information. With that, I will say Becca and I will see you all next week. Bye.